Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to Marion K Tarot. This week I'm a bit discombobulated because of the Oracle's Rebellion, etc. However, we are going to try and remain calm. We are going to do a reading this week, and it is our regular weekly reading, and it is going to be for the dates of the 13th to the 19th of April. What to say? So much going on. So much. This week we are using the Spacious Tarot. We are back to our normal service after last week. I chose this deck from at random from the little bits of paper in our jar. And it's one of my real favourites. And I say that about all of them, it's like, but it's true. It's a lovely deck. The artwork is delicious. It's soft. There's a gentleness to it, but it's really hard hitting as well. And I think that this week, especially as the planets are gearing up to be what they're supposed to be, and it's just a lot. And if you have been feeling it, if you've been following along, we are heading up to, there's going to be at one point in the next couple of weeks 7 planets in Aries. It's a lot. Okay, we are feeling it. We are feeling that pressure, and it's the pressure that's building and building. I'm not saying this to scare people, because we will get through it. It's like the planets are there to guide. It's just that because we know that things are going to be happening, or the reason why things are happening, I think, more than others, it gives us a certain level of understanding, and also maybe I can have a feeling of okay then, let's go, let's see what's happening. But we've also got things shaking up a wee bit as well. We are going to be using a different deck for the Oracle deck, and I'll get to that when we get to the Oracle deck portion of the video. So, with that wee ramble, how are you? I hope you're well. And can I just say thank you to everybody who has been commenting, playing my wee emoji game at the end of the video. It's been so sweet. So yeah, I like that wee thing I introduced. I like that. Right, let's see. So, Spacious Tarot is an indie deck. This is the second edition I've got, and it came out in 2020. So that wasn't just yesterday. Still can't believe that, how quick this time loop has been. Right, let's see what have we got. What's happening? Cards for the 13th to the 19th of April, please. Okay. Let's see. Do you know, I knew this was the right deck. I just knew. I felt it. I was like, yep, this is the deck we need. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have got the 4 of Pentacles, and it's these little acorns. And what immediately springs to mind is are the pine cones? Sorry, they are pine cones, not acorns. I can hear all the tree experts saying, Marion, that's a pine cone. I'm sorry. It feels like, this week. Now let's think about it, right? We've got pines, right? The wee jaggy things. So it feels like for the outside things can be literally a bit jaggy and a bit gnarly, and we're holding on to that because it's the 4 of Pentacles. But what it also means is that if people just wait, then we can share with them what it is we're actually trying to do. Okay, it's the message that's coming through, and it's like that need for stability. There's a searching, longing feeling of stability during these turbulent times. And what I would suggest is wherever you find that stability, it could be walking in nature. It could be, you know, going to see somebody that it could literally be holding people a bit tighter when you give them a hug. Like that physical contact. That's what it could be. I realise that some Tauruses or some air signs are utterly horrified by that idea. But maybe we need to hug it out. I don't know. So, what I would say with this is give people time, okay? Give people time to reveal their layers, okay? Let the spikes drop off, and maybe this week give people some grace if they're appearing to be a wee bit spiky, okay? So, what have we got on the main card? So we have got the Guardian of Pentacles, which is the Queen of Pentacles in this deck. We have got the Seven of Wands. And we have got the Explorer of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. And if you're wondering why I'm smiling so much, it's because the Knight of Swords is one of my all-time favourite cards in the tarot. Okay, I adore him. I adore his energy. I adore his directness, his communication, and he is my messenger for when it's time to write. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's look at this, okay, in relation to each other. And I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that the creators of this deck has changed the quote card names from the traditional ones, and I think that having that guardian energy going into this week, I always feel that, all the queens can be seen as like motherly energy, and I think that oftentimes with the tarot, the Queen of Cups is oftentimes, kind of seen as more motherly. She's a nurturing kind, but personally, I feel like it's the Queen of Pentacles. She's very grounding. She's nurturing in a grounding sense, in a practical sense as well, because it's like, as Earth, as Virgo, but there is that feeling of, whatever is going on externally, you can't do anything about it, right? Don't try and control everything. Only concentrate on what it is that you can control in the moment, okay? Because that's really important for going into this week, right? There will be some defensiveness, going on with that Seven of Wands. There will be people who are being a bit fiery. Literally, look, it's like the 6 wands that are below are literally in fire. It's like it's reminding me of like pitchforks and like, what do you call them? Like the torches, right? Fire torches. That's what it's reminding me. And if you are that clear, calm person who is trying to defend yourself, defending yourself with what? Don't get involved this week in things that do not involve you. Okay, it's all very well sticking up for somebody, etc., but choose your battles wisely this week is what I'm trying to say to you, because you could end up just being that Knight of Wands or Explorer, Knight of Swords, sorry, being that explorer, and are you really prepared to go? It's almost like, are you prepared to die on that hill? Right? Is that what it is that you're prepared to do? But also, it's like whilst you're holding that on, remember you've always got a choice. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay in the battle lines. You can remove yourself and make sure that if you are fighting, no fighting. Why? I said that last week, didn't I? Don't start fighting. Don't sue me. it's like if you feel that there is an internal and external battle going on, make sure you really need to play a part in it. This is what I'm saying. It's like preserve your energy because we're going to need it. Okay? This is what it feels like. So preserve your energy. The firestorm will come, the firestorm will pass. And I think that as far as you personally are concerned, it's like concentrate as much as possible in your own wee world. Okay? That's what I mean when I say this. To preserve your energy. Try your best to turn off the news. Okay? Because whether you watch the news and know exactly what's happening or whether you don't, you cannot change what's going to happen. Okay? So take that as you feel works for you. Nobody says that you have to watch the news. Okay? If you do watch the news, try and find something as impartial as possible. Okay? That's the key. Finding impartiality. Finding news outlets that are for different countries to see like different perspectives. Don't just listen to sound bites. Okay? But yeah, get into nature and just like get into nature, get a campfire and get some solitude and do some journaling and write. Okay? If you want to break it down like that. Now, 2 seconds, I need a drink. Now, this week, and I know I usually pull from the Grief Journey Oracle, but as I was preparing for this reading, I was literally called from across my office to I've got a display cabinet, right? It's like a 1930s display cabinet, and I decided to paint it sky blue. Why, I don't know, but anyway I did, and it's awful, and for years I've had this thing and I've wanted to paint it a different colour and I'll never get round to it. Anyway, too much information there. But it is where I store some of my really precious decks. And it's not because, like, some of them, yes, were very expensive, some of them are very rare, but other ones are just really, really special to me. Now this deck, I wanted to look and see when it was first published because that was around the time that I got it. And this deck was published in 1997, okay? And it was probably one of my first Oracle decks, okay? And I absolutely love it. And I truly believe that within this space, within this category, there has not been a better deck done, okay, and for this category, and that's just my opinion, okay. So the deck that I'm talking about is the Goddess Oracle, okay, and it's by Amy Sophia Marashinsky. It's illustrated by Rana Janto. I hope that's how you pronounce the names. And it's not just the deck itself that is truly wonderful, and it was ahead of its time. It was so ahead of its time. It's a guidebook, and the guidebook is, I mean, it's remarkably well preserved, you know, for the amount of times I have used this and the amount of years I've had it, because it's coming up in 30 years. Oh my god. It's wonderful, right? So I'm going to pull a card for that, and then I'm going to read for the guidebook, okay? So, let's see. Because I just felt like, with everything piling up in Aries, which is a very masculine energy, it's a very masculine sign, you know, it's combative, it's dynamic. It just felt like we needed something to counteract that. And I just thought, right, we need to reach for this deck, so we just need something. We just need a bit of femininity. Not to say that it's going to be gentle, because this deck it's not necessarily gentle. So we need a message from a goddess, please. Right. Okay. So powerful. I love them. And I can't say it. I can't pronounce the name yet. It's Gildepitis. It's, yeah. And the key word on it is synthesis, which I love. And I just feel that it's so gentle, that energy. Just the green, the healing. It's so beautiful. Okay, so yeah. So it is pronounced Gildeptis. So I've done no bad. That's Gildeptis, okay? And what this book does is it gives you a little poem, and it gives you the mythology, and then it gives you the meaning of the card. And if you want to stay around, I'm going to read it all, okay? If you think, oh fuck, shut up, Martin, then you know. But Gildeptis, and it's synthesis. And this is what she says. I take opposites and conflicts, all that is contradictory. I take the diverse and varied. I take the simple and solitary, and mix and merge, meld and blend. I take what is separate and create union. I bring together what needs to be brought together, so wholeness is achieved. This is a mythology. So, Gildeptis, whose name means lady hanging hair, is the forest goddess of the Tlingit and Haida people of northwest North America. I am so sorry if I've butchered that. Please forgive me. To her people, she was the mothy hanging branches of cedar. When her people were threatened by the destructive whirlpool Keighill Geekst, which ate seafaring ships, she called all the natural powers to her coast together and prepared them for a sumptuous feast. Delighted with the feast, they all agreed to work with her. Thus Gildeptis was able to synthesize the energies and change the whirlpool into a river. Okay, I'm sorry again. How many times am I going to say sorry? Quite a lot. So it says the meaning of the card. Gildeptis glides into your life to tell you the way to wholeness, for you now lies in synthesis. It is time to bring all the divergent parts, all the opposing pieces, together into one whole you. At this time in your life, you may be engaged in conflict or opposition. Now you must resolve and create union. Perhaps you are dissipating your energy, your life force, in too many directions, or have hundreds of irons in the fire. This is time to find the common thread that will serve your needs in the best way. Gildeptis says that by learning to listen to all the different pieces, all the divergent parts of you, and this can include your family, community, partner, you can hear and give what is needed to create wholeness. Wholeness is created when all the parts are honoured and listened to, when all the parts are brought together and synthesised into a whole. The greatest gifts to the whole often lie in the most disparate pieces. Okay. So there you go. And then it goes on to give you a ritual as well, but it's another 2.5 pages, and I don't think you really want to hear me doing that. But as I say, wow, I told you they were good, didn't I? How like relevant is this card? How relevant is this goddess's message? How relevant is it to our reading this week? And I feel that there is that synthesis needed. You know, that's probably the word that I was looking for, that I was searching for. And you know, if nothing else, let's take that message and put it into our week. You know, going forward, because there is so much division in the world, even in our own lives, etc. But yeah, let's take it forward. And if you are still here at the end of the video, let us pay homage to this beautiful goddess and the cards that we have got, and put a wee tree in the comments as an emoji if you stayed to the end. Okay, my loves, have a wonderful week. Stay calm, as we say in Scotland. Keep the heat. Okay, and I will see you next time.